Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com, the purchase and pricing email question line for your questions about buying this or any watch on Watchbox Reviews or our website. Email me at tmosso at thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing a 500-piece JLC blackened titanium limited edition from 2006 inspired by Aston Martin road cars. This is the Jaeger LeCoultre AMVOX 2 chronograph, a pusherless chronograph with an articulated case. It is a timepiece that represents the best of automotive style, technology, and heritage, as Jaeger instruments were found in Aston Martin road cars as early as the 1920s and as late as the 1990s. So in the early 2000s, from 2004 to 2014, Aston Martin and JLC signed an agreement, not just co-branding, but a fully realized, unique model line of standalone references inspired by the long association between Jaeger and Aston Martin. Now, the timepiece here is 44 millimeters in titanium, and as you can see, the JLC in these watches proved to be remarkably resilient, and it has held up well. 44 millimeters and feather light. It's short cropped from lug to lug. I owned this exact watch in bare titanium, and from lug to lug, you can see that it's just under 50 millimeters, measuring 49.2 millimeters across my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. It also has a camber or curvature to it, and the lugs are short and stubby, so they sit easily on the wrist. The watch is 14.5 millimeters thick, and as you can see, it's broad between the lugs, a very modern design, nicely stanced with a 23 millimeter spacing. This watch featured a different strap than the standard titanium AMVOX or the platinum model. It featured an embossed cross-hatched pattern in calfskin. It looks like carbon fiber, as frequently used in modern day Aston Martin cars. You can see it is made of calfskin, and this is a brand new JLC factory strap. You will have the privilege of gouging and crimping first, and you will do so with this, a matching titanium double deployment clasp. As you can see, double folding, curved to match the arc of the underside of your wrist. It also features a blackened buckle so that it appears murdered out California style when it is on your wrist. Now, what I really like here is that you see the same finish of the standard watch. Apologize for not polishing this one with a polishing cloth, but you can see the satination, the beveling, the curvatures, the brushed texture. All of this is identical to what you would get on the standard watch, and you can see the case is quite nuanced with quite a few different surfaces, and it's really a three-part case with a middle and two ends. The middle pivots on ball bearings, and you can actually see the chronograph hammers at the bottom because, well, here's the slider on the side, and you can see that the crown, which is a push-down, is shaped like an Aston gas cap. But the chronograph works because if you are racing the 24 hours of Le Mans, you're probably wearing gloves, so your fat fingers can't operate conventional crowns, especially the screw downs you'd find on a Daytona. So you have a vertical trigger system where you just push the crystal at 12 o'clock to start, and you push the crystal at 12 o'clock to stop. Push the crystal at 6 o'clock to reset, and actually there is a lockout system. If you push the trigger all the way down, you activate the lockout, so you can't accidentally fat finger a reset while it's in motion, and then you can reset. If you push the trigger all the way to the top, you lock out the system altogether. So the center is full function, start, stop, and then reset, and then the bottom allows you to start and stop but not reset. So you have three positions, three different functions, and you can lock out, you can start and stop, or you can go full function. So you have that crown that's designed to evoke the gas cap on vintage Aston Martins, like the one Carroll Shelby drove to victory in the 1959 24 Hours of Le Mans. You can see that there's a lovely box section sapphire, which is tall and squared off, which evokes vintage plexiglass. You'll also note that the dial of the watch reads a lot like a speedometer or a tachometer, as it's calibrated from 8 to 4 with a large open expanse at the base, as you'd find on a dashboard clock. Likewise, you find the radially arrayed Arabic numerals, and the interspersed numerals are smaller than the primaries, this too referencing Aston Martin dashboards of the 50s and 60s. You'll note applique indices outboard. There's a satin finished track underneath the applique and loomed. They are black luminova numerals, so this is a little bit of an unusual watch. Applique on a satin finished base for the hour track, black outboard for the minutes and seconds. You can see the visible chronograph hammers at the base of the dial. and you can see them pivoting on their ball bearings as the chronograph starts, stops, and resets. You have solid discs of luminova for the chronograph minutes as well as the chronograph hours, instantaneous jumping minutes. You can see there is a matching satin silver steel disc for the date. There is a quick set system for the date. You can rapidly cycle to correct the watch if you need to, and then there is a hacking seconds function, but critically, because the watch doesn't have a constant seconds dial, the vertical clutch of the chronograph allows you to run it on a full-time basis. So if you want to just use it as seconds, you can, and of course if you pull the crown out, you will hack your seconds. Now the timepiece features the Calypso style hands, featured on only a handful of 1968 Polaris models. Toward the end of the Polaris run, those were featured on an Italian market version of the watch. The timepiece, of course, powered internally, and by the way, I should note there is an Aston Martin wing logo that's ghosted on the center dial. If you can't see it, it's there, but it's very subtle. It's more obvious externally. You can see the individual numbering out of 500, the Aston Martin wings, media blasted back with a more obviously vertically satin finished case back. You can see the Aston Martin wings and the Aston Martin logo. Inside caliber 751E. It's caliber 751E, 41 joules, automatic winding, twin mainspring barrels, 65-hour power reserve, column wheel, and a vertical clutch system. So you've got both for crispness and precision and actuation. Stop seconds, quick set date, 28,800 vibration per hour beat rate, a unidirectional winding system with ceramic rotor bearings to maximize efficiency, and then it features a free-sprung architecture for shock resistance. The twin mainspring barrels giving you not just the 65-hour power reserve, but also excellent amplitude retention after 24 or 48 hours, and that can be a weakness of single barrel movements. This is not a single barrel movement. It is instead as sweet as single barrel bourbon. The best of watches and wheels. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com to make this all-time great, unique, and I must say, even to this day, peerless, pusherless vertical trigger chronograph yours. And we're back with the AMVOX 2 chronograph. You can see the fully loomed chronograph hour and minute discs.